Yes!
Wake up! Wake up!
I'm awake. How are you?
I'm good. I had to take my glasses off because they're pissing me off.
Okay.
I have this blue light filter in them, and I'm obviously staring at the computer screen, which is firing a load of blue light through.
And it's just firing it back at the camera.
It literally just sends it back. It's amazing, but it's really annoying when I'm looking at myself on the screen through my own glasses. So I'm taking them off.
Just take them off and be blind.
By the way, I still haven't found my glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so these are like glasses from 2 years ago that are a little bit different to my new prescription. But yeah, I need to get rid of the blue light, I think, in the when I go back out and get the upgrade.
I went on it was a couple of months ago now. It was about 5 months ago or less, I don't know. I went on a feverish clean a while ago. Graham had just bought. Graham's known for his outlandish glasses frames and sunglasses frames, and he'd gotten a pair of sunglasses that were very Willy Wonka, Johnny Depp Willy Wonka sunglasses esque. He was delighted.
Does Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka wear glasses? Okay, I don't know what that looks like. Now I have to look it up.
Well, you're gonna need to look that up.
But what does I'm trying to visualize Graham now with glasses, and I can't think of an outlandish pair of glasses.
You haven't been around Graham in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, he's quite. I'll have a look through. Even just wamp open Instagram there and have a look through some of his posts, and you'll see his sunglasses and stuff. And Juliet is just as fun framey.
Oh, like these goggle things.
Which ones are you looking at?
Johnny Depp goggles.
Yeah, those kind of things. Well, not quite like them, but kind of, yeah. So he got sunglasses like that, and he also got a 6-month contact lens prescription. And I went on a feverish clean. Now, first of all, he has shown me the sunglasses, and I was like, they're fucking hideous. And they were still.
These are on Instagram, are they?
No, not these ones. He had never actually worn them. And I went on a feverish clean and put everything away, and the glasses, nor the 6-month prescription for contact lenses has been seen since.
Oh, God.
And he's convinced I threw them away because I didn't like them.
So where did you throw them away to?
I have no idea. I remember...
You didn't deny it, though.
I remember having the bag with the glasses and the contact lenses in them, and going, I'm going to put these in here. It's going to be away, but sure, we go here all the time. And I have a vague memory of doing that. So thinking, it's away, but sure, we're obviously going to come back to this place, wherever I put them. And do you think I can remember where that is? I have ripped this house apart in like apology and trying to make up for the fact that I put them away in the first place to try and find them. I cannot locate those. And now I'm like, in my cleaning, did I throw them out? You know, like...
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You're just a shit husband, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. I probably threw them away in spite, let's be honest.
Yeah. They're probably in like a shorts pocket somewhere.
Probably. I probably just put them in
like
a jacket pocket and just like, sure, of course, we'll find them.
Okay, talking about that, I redid my room recently because we're getting ready for the baby. And I had to kind of rejig my wardrobe around, and I found a jacket that I haven't worn in a long time. And there's loads of money in the pockets.
Happy days.
I love when that happens, and it happens so often.
I don't use like physical money anymore, really, so that never happens.
Yeah. So when you're on the dole, you have to use physical money.
Does not go into your account?
No, you have to go and collect it every week.
I thought it goes into... Does not go into... It used to do electronic fund transfer.
No. Well, if you can, I can't do it for some reason. But yeah, like you have to go and collect it every... I think the whole idea is that, you know, you go and collect it so you like you show that you're not actually working.
Yeah. Now, 20-ish years ago was the last time I was... Not 20 years ago. 15 years ago or so. I was in a similar situation. And I had to go and sign on.
I've been working all the time. I'm a tiger.
I am. So tough. I had to go and sign on every week, every Thursday. But no, every Monday. But that was just signing on. That was just like going in and signing my name with my little cardy thing. But the money went into my account every Thursday.
That's interesting. Okay. I don't have to. I think I have to sign on like every month or 2 months, maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But anyway, so it's nice to find extra money when you have ADHD pockets.
That's fair. Happy days. Was it any kind of substantial amount that you can use to buy nice new equipment? Or was it like a $5?
I probably lost it in the time since,
it's gone,
to be honest. Yeah. It's in a different pocket now. I'll find in 6 months.
I'll put that there. That'll keep it nice and safe. Yeah. So how have things been? What have you been up to? What's the story?
What have I been up to?
What's wrong with Harv?
I could always find something, but I'm not going to today. I'm good. I'm feeling decent.
What's right with Harv?
What's right with Harv? Rachel's inside with the girls, having a little mini baby shower.
Nice.
Because she's like literally ready to pop. So she's due in like, what date is it now? The 23rd. She's due in like a week-ish. But we're expecting maybe she'll need to be induced. This baby's measuring a bit big. Okay. So we'll see how it goes over the next week. But we're trying to kind of get the room ready, get stuff sorted, all that kind of stuff. It's a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Not rampage.
Busy.
Let's say busy. It's busy trying to get bits done. Yeah. So
yeah, understandable.
Nothing much else going on. Talking to a few recruiters, which is nice, and course is going really well. Oh, I got my placement. So in the masters, we have to do a 12-week placement. So I got my supervisor for that. And it seems like it could be a good, interesting project.
What are you doing that in? What's the placement going to be?
So I don't have a whole lot of details on it. I just kind of have the high level of what the particular project is. And to be honest, he gave me this project based on kind of interests that I sent to him, but there's other projects, so I might have a look at the other ones and see, if there's something a little bit more interesting or suitable. But this one seems interesting enough. It's essentially, I think it's to kind of pull data from a company. So it's working with a company. I'm not sure what the company is or what they specialize or do. So pulling their data on a daily basis and using Node.js and React to build some sort of analytics platform to analyze it on a daily basis and put together charts and dashboards and stuff like that. So
for visualization.
Visualization, exactly. Yeah. So
nice.
I just had my first meeting with him earlier in the week, so get a bit more info and see how it goes. But yeah, it's nice to know because it was kind of up in the air. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool. That sounds that's actually just like very niche interesting. You'd have to have an interest in something like that to find it interesting. But it does sounds pretty cool. It sounds like it's the kind of thing that you'll be primed for. In terms of medication and all that kind of drama and high blood pressure and stuff like that, what's going on there? Funny, I haven't actually asked you about that in a while.
Yeah, and funny you bring it up because I was going to say we should talk about it. Because I wanted to get your reaction to how you feel things are going from your perspective, looking at me and looking towards this direction, if you know what I mean.
So, how it is working with you, how you've progressed, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, so obviously we've talked about it in the past. It was good when I was on the medication. Obviously, scatterbrain's still there, and things were kind of going well. And then came off the medication, and basically I just dove off a cliff.
Yeah,
and it was a nightmare, especially at the very start. But like, that's what now? That's 2 months.
That's it. Yeah, probably. It's a good 2 months away now. Yeah.
So what's the take now?
You've kind of leveled out a bit, I think. There's still a few of the particles are still flowing around in
Particles.
the air. Yeah. A few of your Harv particles are still, like, your Harvicles are still kind
I
of
love it.
flying around the place that don't seem to have a
Sounds infectious.
It really does. It's a bit STI-ish.
Jesus, okay.
They're still kind of flown around without any kind of purpose or direction, but you seem to have pulled things together a bit more. It's easier to keep you on topic, but it's still, that by no means says that it's easy to do it. It's easier.
Yeah.
Like, getting you to focus is still like fucking trying to herd fucking, I'm not even going to say cats, I'm going to say fucking flamingos, although they're traditionally a herding creature. So
are they? I was like, I'm sure they're difficult to herd.
No, it's like trying to herd Harvs. There we go.
Okay.
Traditionally isolatory creature.
Yeah.
It's you're easier to pin down to a specific discussion, but I feel like all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like probably it's not as bad as it seems, that I just like play up on it to piss you off as well. You know what I mean? I know how it annoys you, so I fucking play on it.
Yeah, there's definitely an aspect of you taking the piss out of me sometimes. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah. So I definitely feel like leveling out is a nice way to put it. So at the start, it was like I just became a completely different person. You know, I wasn't myself anymore. I went back to how I visualized myself before the meds and before the diagnosis as this kind of just lump of mashed potato who couldn't really, function properly. And that's what it was like at the very start. And then kind of slowly, like you say, it started to level out. And it's still very difficult, like in terms of productivity and stuff and distraction, like for things like preparing for interviews or sitting down for periods of time to do productive work or anything like that. It's still very difficult. And just the day-to-day stuff, like, I think we've probably talked about it in the past, but those invisible obstacles are back.
Yeah,
I don't kind of proactively tidy up around the house as much as I did when I was on the medication. It's easier for me to see something on the floor and leave it there rather than pick it up, which I would have done straight away without even a second thought when I was on the medication. Those kind of things. But I'm very much more relaxed as well now. I was agitated quite a lot at the start. I'm probably pissed off an awful lot as well because of the change.
You were very dejected at the start. You were like, there was a definite sense of defeat. Yeah.
It hit me really hard, especially because of the time, because it came at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
I had so many assignments, some of which I was halfway through and was doing a really good job at. I had a really good kind of tight baked down schedule to get my assignments done and prepare myself for the exams over like the course of maybe 3-4 week period. And then that just kind of went completely out the window.
Sorry, I have to interrupt just for 2 seconds.
Okay.
I have another screen open at the same time. And Graham's just after messaging me. He sent me a screenshot.
Okay.
He's saying, what the fuck? It's a request on Instagram from you. The request to follow him. He's like, this prick doesn't follow me.
I don't use Instagram. I literally.
So you're about to
I think I was going to say this to you. So, like, I don't follow Steven. I don't follow pretty much like 90% of the people who I know on Instagram. I don't follow back.
You're just a dickhead.
I don't use it. Like, I used it briefly when I was kind of trying to get into photography and stuff. But then I kind of just stopped bothering. And I don't even open it anymore. When we started this, I used it a bit. I was like...
Yeah.
Like, well, let me see. I've got like 15th of March, 13th of March. And then literally all of the other things are like ADHDerpCast reposts.
Yeah.
And then from that, it's like my anniversary, which was like nearly a year ago. So I don't use it, so tell Graham to fuck off.
Now you're on his list, so
that's what, if I haven't been on it already, then that's a surprise.
Yeah, you've just gotten underlined.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. Anyway, no, I definitely think it's things are a bit more calm. So on the blood pressure side, I went back to my doctor. We got another 24-hour monitor, and my BP had dropped, but not enough for him to be comfortable with me going back on the meds. So he did say to me, look, if you really need to go back on them, we can look at doing blood pressure medication, and then, I'd be happy to put you back on the Ritalin. But I really didn't want to do that. So sent a referral back off to my psychiatrist so we could have a consultation with her. So I'm meeting with her in July at some point. But I also went out and bought a home BP monitor. So I've been checking it kind of constantly, maybe once a day or 2-3 times a day. Some days I've forgotten. I haven't really been tracking it, but it's got a memory in it. And it's at the very start, it was fluctuating up and down. And now it's kind of on a good trajectory, mostly downwards, which is nice.
What's the kind of typical reading you're getting at the minute?
So at the start, it was kind of high 140s, 150 odd, over
that is fairly high,
90 somethings.
Okay.
And it kind of has been slowly reducing. And I think the one I took this morning was like 120, 121, 122 over 80 something. That's high 80s, I think.
120 over 80 is or in the 80s is perfect. That's normal blood pressure.
On the monitor, it's so it's got like 4 sections. So it's like green, yellow, orange, red, and most of mine were in orange. Like I had some in red, and I haven't had any in green yet. But today and a few of the more recent ones have been in the yellow. So it's good progress. Yeah,
that's very good progress. Because going from like tipping into the 150s and getting it down to 120, that's fantastic. I don't know what they mean. I just know what high and low means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah. So
and do you think when you talk to your psychiatrist, are you going to request alternatives, or are you going to say, here's where it's at, give me my Ritalin, please? Or are you going to try and stay on not Ritalin?
This is the thing, because like I experimented with 2 or 3 different stimulants, okay? And Ritalin was the last one I experimented with, and it actually had such a great effect, a profound effect, that it changed my life. So I don't know whether I believe something else can have that effect, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like I found the right thing quite early.
But that's a blocker you're putting up yourself.
Yeah,
because
100%.
You found something that work.
100%,
you're like, you're naturally resistant then to trying an alternative.
Yeah, like I just, at this stage, I just want to get back to the way I was.
Yeah.
Because I miss feeling like a full human. But that's, like you say, that's something that I'm doing myself. And if there was the suggestion or the option there to try something else, I think now is the perfect time, because I'm not taking the Ritalin, so I'm coming at it from the baseline.
Yeah, rather than
not having any medication.
Excuse me. Rather than being on something and feeling a sense of loss because you're losing.
But also it could be like a different sensation or a different effect, Like I could be, if I was to come off Ritalin to go straight on to something else or to whatever it is, I don't know what the other options are at the moment, really, but I could be looking for that exact same feeling or that same effect, which may not necessarily come, but it may be a positive effect in a different manner.
Yeah.
That could be even better. But I just, disregard it because it's not what I wanted or what I expected, that kind of way. Whereas coming at it from the kind of completely unmedicated baseline foundation, I think is probably a good reason or a good time to do it.
Yeah, and it allows you to be open to however alternatives will make you feel. But the fact that your blood pressure came down is really good. And like for a while there, you're going through some really stressful stuff. So
that's the thing. I think it was the stress that was pushing it up, because I never suffered from high blood pressure before, and I fluctuated in weight for my whole adult life pretty much.
You've not exactly been eating salads for the last while either. So
no.
like that was a big factor as well. So and I think the fact that you've been addressing those things at the same time.
I tried to do the exercise thing and the food thing, and I have definitely been less bad.
Yeah.
Like a good few times I got out with the dog for walks. I'm trying to, do more walking throughout the day. And I'm trying to eat less crap.
Yeah. You've been better than you were when you came off it.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. Like I used food and coffee especially as a crutch, and I've cut down that, hugely. Now the last little while I've kind of started drinking a little bit more coffee, which is interesting because the BP is going down, but the caffeine intake has gone up slightly. So that's an interesting one. But
because the other factors have also gone down.
Yeah, so I think the main thing was the stress, because that's pretty much the only thing that has changed.
Yeah.
I have no stress from college. I have no stress from holidays. I have no stress from any of those things that were kind of, going all over the place.
Yeah.
Things are relaxed. Obviously, I have a baby about to pop out, but I'm not stressed about that.
Sure.
I'm excited
more damn, it's grand.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I definitely, once the baby comes, I want to start getting back into the gym. We've talked about this for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months, but I think I've now determined that the lunchtime is the slot to use. So lunchtime slot for the gym. I want to get back in, start lifting again. And I think that's going to be a huge factor in it, getting back into proper vigorous exercise rather than just strolling around.
That was the most positive you had ever been when you were doing that. So let's see how it goes when you have your consultation. Do you know when in July it is? Is it early, mid, late?
I have the date, but I don't know. I need to double check it.
Well, it'll be a surprise for me as it is for you.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise when it pops up on my phone in the morning. It's like, fuck, I have to go to that day.
Is it in person consultation?
Yeah, the office is just around the corner, so it's grand.
Sure, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see how that goes. I'm sure, judging from the very limited knowledge I have, and judging from the way you've been tracking, it sounds like it's going to be a better one. Hooray.
Yeah.
Happy days. Sing a song.
So what about you then? Are you fully off your, I want to say Lexapro?
Lexapro, yeah. I haven't taken Lexapro in a while.
Yeah.
There's definitely been an adjustment period. There's been managing my emotions has become something I have to consciously be aware of.
In what way?
I find that when I'm just on Ritalin, it's almost like the Lexapro is tempering the mood affecting parts of Ritalin. And when I'm just on Ritalin, that's a bit more magnified. So I have to be a bit more aware of the potential mood swings and mitigate it and kind of breathe a bit more, basically, and bring myself back down. I'm finding I'm back to when I was quite quick to anger and quite quick to being very reactionary.
Yeah.
Like not in any kind of, like, I'm not exactly like smashing glasses off a wall around like that, but this is bullshit kind of fast. But it's like, it's okay. It's manageable. It's fine. It's not like that's in any way debilitating. I just have to be aware of how I'm feeling, and when I react to something, I have to kind of try and make myself take a step back and go, am I reacting to this or am I reacting to this?
Yeah.
And is it just triggering like a sense of injustice? Which I am quite hyper aware of at the minute. because of how I'm reacting to things. And I'm trying to see if my reactions to things are legitimate or if I'm just reacting, so all in all, but that the thing is, I was on Lexapro to manage anxiety, and none of the discussions of coming off it have been around anxiety. Like that hasn't peaked, or there hasn't been any haven't been any anxiety peaks or any stressors around that side of things at all. So I think Ritalin is managing that side of it really well. I haven't had any panic attacks or anything like that, or any kind of anxiety attacks coming off Lexapro, which has been pretty sweet because they weren't great. I didn't have panic attacks per se. It was more like big anxiety attacks. Like I wouldn't have had the heightened heart rate, can't really do anything. It was more slow burner than that. Like I'd talk myself out of situations. Like if I knew I had a big drive coming up, I'd make excuses and try and create a situation where I wouldn't have to do the drive. And it would just be constantly in my head all the time. So less panic attacky, more constant. And I haven't had any of that. That has been quite nice. And I'm more able to not get in my head. So like, I used to be very procrastinating. Like, let's say, like me and Graham were just on holiday, and the big thing for me was always like going into new places, and I'd always talk myself out of being the first person to go into a new place or find reasons to not go and stuff like that. Whereas now I'm very much, let's go here, and just walking in, And
I was exactly the same. I was exactly the same with that. Like when we were in Rome for our honeymoon and stuff, usually I'd be like the one who wants to stay in the hotel, maybe just go to the restaurant in the hotel because I'm, have this kind of subconscious fear of strange places. But in Rome, we walked all over the place. We didn't, we had no bones about going anywhere. But you mentioned the not being in your head. Like that's the one bit that I miss most about, I think, the Ritalin, because I'm always in my head now. Like you have no space.
Yeah. I see it in you when we're talking about things, even when we're talking about simple things like editing and stuff like that. It's like you find it hard to let the little things go. It's like you're almost obsessing on small details, or like constantly on, whereas I'm like, let's do this, throw it up, done. You're like, no, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong. Like, whereas those
things, that perfectionism has come back because the little voice inside my head has come back.
You can, that's probably been for what we're doing, that's been one of the big challenges, trying to get you past that. Not everything needs to be perfect, you know what I mean?
And it's funny because I've had this conversation with a few different people, a friend who was starting a business and a friend who was can't remember what they were doing, but it's a similar thing. And having gone through this process for the podcast, where we realized, let's get it 80% of the way and then it's fine to put out. And I had this conversation with these people and gave them that advice from the experience. But now, obviously, it's ricocheted back onto me with the change in circumstances.
But let's see how you get on, doctor-wise. See if that...
What's wrong with Harv?
What's wrong with Harv? Let's see what... in the next issue of What's Wrong with Harv, things will be right with Harv, hopefully. So that's where things are.
Nice.
I think we're good for now. I think what I'm going to do is end this because I have to go and look after my child. My child is not well at the moment. We don't know what it is. We got a letter from her childcare that said that there was a case of COVID in the centre, and that unless we needed to go for like hospital or doctor care, if she gets in any way unwell, just assume it is COVID. And she last night it's like her breathing was a bit laboured, and she woke up and she's basically a snot bag at the moment, and it's like her throat is sore. Like she doesn't really want to eat anything that's like hard. She's more like, give me soft cold things. So we're just assuming it's COVID, and that's why this is remote as well, because my child is a bag of virus.
Yeah.
We had
And
plans to be in person today.
We've had scarlet fever. We thought we had scarlet fever in the house. So I was supposed to do my Meals on Wheels deliveries yesterday, and we were taking one of the girls down to the emergency doctor to see, because they had a case of scarlet fever in the school. So we took her down to the doctor, but because I deliver to kind of elderly people and people who are kind of, more at risk, I had to say no, you can't do it. So
you can't introduce something like that to our most vulnerable people. So that's why we're there. So I am going to wrap this up today because I have to go and look after my my virus bag. And I've been Stephen, you've been Harv. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, comment, and all the other jizzy jazzles.
Bye.
Bye.